It's so exciting to see such a broad sort of range of faces and backgrounds. Um, what I'm going to be talking to you today is more about the human side of AI, okay? So I am a lecturer in cyber psychology in ATU in Donegal. People often ask, what is cyber psychology? It's one of the most important topics we have in the world today. It's the study of online behavior. How are we adapting to the systems that we're using every day? Things like, how do we build trust with an AI system? How do we make sure our teams are comfortable with these kind of intimidating, or as Seamus said, overwhelming new technologies? This can be really, really important when you are talking about digital transformation. So one of the themes today, transformation. I'm sure a lot of you are undertaking AI projects in your business. Actually, can I get a show of hands who here is using AI in their business? Everybody. I'm sure you are all at different phases. Maybe you're integrating it. Maybe you are already using a program but want to increase it and enhance it. So what I'm going to be looking at today is the user experience of AI. And user experience means a lot more than just how a system looks and feels. User experience, sometimes you need to zone out. You have to look at, why is this system being used? What problem is it solving? And who is the solution for? Okay, so back in action here. Fantastic. Okay, perfect. AI is a complex system. A complex system we are already trying to integrate into our own businesses and those complex systems. I want to give you an example today of another complex system, but one that is adaptable, responsive, and flexible. It's a murmuration of birds. I see them pass my window all the time. Why do they make you think of AI? I find them really inspiring because AI is shifting and changing all the time. Our businesses are shifting and changing. A murmuration is adaptive. It can move on the fly. And something really interesting about them is that they are non-hierarchical. Change can come from the top down, or it can come from a small subsection over here that can lead an entire transformation, that can change the direction of the organization. So, had a show of hands there. Everybody has some sort of AI integration or AI work going on. But the recent McKinsey technology report outlined that 8 out of 10 companies who have integrated generative AI into their business are not actually seeing any financial gain. Lots of resources, lots of investment, lots of energy being put into this, but they're not seeing a shift in the bottom line. Why is that? Fragmented initiatives mean that there's no clear project brief. It's almost seen as a checkbox exercise. We need to get AI in our systems. We need to make this work for us. We need to get using it. We can't be left behind. That means that projects maybe aren't clear. Teams are unclear of what their focus should be. And ultimately, you're not providing a success metric for what is a successful AI integration in this case. Similarly, it can silo teams. When teams are focusing their efforts on an unclear project brief or some sort of kind of rush job, it means that they are distracted. They are not working together. They're not working to all move as one. And one of the top barriers, one of the main drivers of barriers to digital transformation is organizational resistance. We as humans do not like change. We are not comfortable with it. And again, teams could be feeling, as Seamus said earlier, overwhelmed, intimidated by new technologies, and being quite attached to the way things have always been. All of these can lead to issues, can lead to reasons why these AI integrations are not successful. So how do you remedy that? You need to take a holistic approach. So I'm zooming right back, everybody. I'm sure lots of people are very, very far along on their AI journey. But wherever you are on that journey, you can apply these principles, okay? So you need to find and fix the right problem. What problem is it that you're trying to solve, and what's going to be most impactful for your users, your customers, your team? Similarly, you need to get your team on board. You need to set them up for success in order to work with these new AI systems, okay? And ultimately, whether you are building your own AI program, your own AI model, or you're using a pay-as-you-go ChatGPT license. We want to look at what is the future of that interface? How do we design more user-friendly, better interfaces that help people to learn how to use it and understand the potential of these programs, okay? Can I get a show of hands, anybody who uses Slack in their workplace? Slack, okay. So I'm sure you will have noticed their fantastic AI integration recently. For anybody not familiar with Slack, Slack is like your WhatsApp groups on overdrive, messages coming in, multiple channels, a lot of informational overload. It's a high cognitive load on the user, and you can spend ages going through your messages, taking time away from your day-to-day work. Slack have integrated a fantastic AI system where they are summarizing, prioritizing, and helping you to parse through the information coming through on your communication channels. AI is brilliant at pattern recognition, and it is brilliant at summarizing. So it is giving you a kind of high-level overview. Here is what your channel is saying. Here's what you missed. You had a week off. Here's the 3 most important things that you should focus on. So from a psychology standpoint, you are reducing information overload. You are reducing people's cognitive load, and you're helping them to work better. You're reducing overwhelm, okay? So Slack do this really, really well because it's a very clear problem that they have solved. They are reducing information overload for their users. What happens when there is a lack of focus or they're not solving the right problem? Oh, hold on now, let me. You might have noticed this from WhatsApp integrating Meta AI into the interface. Show of hands, does anybody use the Meta AI? Do they use the AI systems in WhatsApp? Okay, a couple of people. But I think this is a very good example of a business need being prioritized over a user need. This is an example of Facebook or Meta saying, let's integrate this AI into WhatsApp, into your communication channels. But what does that mean for the day-to-day user? What was the problem? Was it defined? This is what I'm saying when projects lack focus. They're not centering a very specific problem. And as such, they can kind of create like one-off solutions that don't ultimately add value to the business. So the McKinsey report outlined 2 very, very important distinctions between use cases for AI integrations, okay? So they distinguish between horizontal use cases and vertical use cases. Moya, what does that mean? A horizontal use case is something like using Microsoft Copilot, or possibly Otter AI is a very, very good example of this, for summarizing your meeting notes. Show of hands, who uses an AI system to summarize meeting notes? It's fantastic. It's great. It helps you. It takes the load off you. People are fully present in meetings. They give great summaries. Really, really effective. You can implement it quickly. You can scale it. But it's difficult to measure, isn't it? It's difficult to measure the outcome or the impact that that has created. A vertical use case, on the other hand, would be, imagine if your AI system was able to take all of those meeting note summaries, to collate them, to look at the trends and patterns within them, compare and contrast them to your business KPIs, parse some actionable insights or things that your team have missed, being able to define project completion rates, give you very clear metrics that you compare against your KPIs. That's a vertical use case. That's something that's going to be deep and layered. It's going to take a lot of effort to integrate all of your own business processes, but ultimately that's going to be measurable. You're going to be able to measure success, and that will take a massive load off you and your team and allow for learning and innovation to grow. There's an incredible researcher called Emily Campbell, who is one of the front runners when you're talking about the user experience of AI. Okay, she has a website called The Shape of AI, where she's talking about heuristics. What are the guidelines? What makes an effective AI system? So when you're talking about finding the right problem, you want to look here, you want to check, does this exist to solve a human need or a business need first? What are we looking to design? And speak to your team about this. What are they facing? What are the issues that they want resolved? Is it purposeful and needful? What is the purpose? What is the business value it's going to drive? And what is the success metric that allows us to track how impactful it is? Now, if we go back to the meeting notes summary, what about this person on your team who possibly that was their role, that was their job. It's ultimately, it's a positive thing. We're automating this system, but how do they feel? One of the major barriers that we're seeing with AI adoption in business is that people aren't confident with the technology. This is what we study in cyber psychology. People are feeling fear, they're feeling anxiety, intimidation by the technology, they're feeling overwhelmed and scared that they might get left behind. How do you address this? In psychology, perception is everything. Ita was saying to us earlier on, just think of this when you're up here on stage, think of it as the easiest job in the world, and it'll make presenting a lot easier. How you perceive something colors your experience. That's true of us all. There's a psychology theory called self-efficacy theory, Bandura's self-efficacy theory. People's beliefs about their own skills is a lot more important than their skills themselves. People, as you can see here, the Small Firms Association, they did a poll on people's attitudes to AI adoption. And the top 3 issues were lack of technical expertise, lack of time to investigate and explore AI, and the business had no clear AI strategy and policy. So, of course, people's perception would be, this is something scary, this is something overwhelming. But notice, those 3 things, if you're a business leader or a team leader, are entirely within your control. You can train people on AI. You can create a policy that makes it exciting, that piques people's curiosity and sort of puncture that fear. When we talk about any kind of technology in cyber psychology, we look to the technology acceptance model as to, okay, is this system going to be taken on board, right? And again, it comes down to perception. In order for a technology to be a success or to be taken on board, to be fully adopted, it needs to be perceived as useful by its users and perceived as being easy to use. Note that that word is perceived, people's perception. So you as a business leader, you will be able to develop possibly internal workflows, knowledge bases, trainings that will show people this is how you use AI and this is how usable it is. This is how easy it is to use. This, again, is all within your control and it can help to set people up for success. The field of UX and the user experience, the actual interface, is still quite new. It's developing. Note all of these different interfaces. What's the commonality? They're all using the Google familiar search kind of interface. They are all tapping into our sense of consistency, familiarity, so that we inherently know how to use them. We feel comfortable using them. You'll notice over the years they have introduced more nudges and prompts and tweaks as to how to use the software. I remember a year or 2 ago, ChatGPT just said, "What can I help you with?" And there was absolutely no other functionality to suggest what else can be done with this technology. So again, if you think back to your team who are intimidated by the technology, that's scary. They don't know the potential. They don't know what is possible. Again, I'm speaking about Emily Campbell. She's one of the primary researchers in this field. She has developed a framework to understand where are the key inflection points that will allow you to design better interfaces to help people to learn how to use your software. Her framework involves, first of all, identifying your use case, defining your prompt. That's a really important one. Can I get a show of hands? Who uses, we're talking about marketing here, who uses AI to create content, create marketing content? Everyone. You can write right now into ChatGPT, you can say, write me a LinkedIn post, and it'll do a pretty good job. But the better your prompt is, the more specific you can get, and the more exceptional your quality output can be. So she's talking about what design choices can we use to help users prompt better. She's also talking about tuning your results. We now have two-way conversations with AI. It's not just input, output. It is a conversation. How do we refine and tune those results to make them better? So you've input, write me a LinkedIn post. Okay, now make the audience the Digital West small business audience or group from Castlebar. You can then tweak who exactly you're writing to. And similarly, you want to have your trust evaluated. So a huge thing, a huge, I suppose, evolution in the interface recently is explainable AI, transparency. The EU AI Act has made that like paramount for any AI system. It has to show you where your sources are coming from. Where did it pull that information from? Previously, AI searches were a black box. It wasn't exactly clear where they were pulling the sources from. And you'll see if we go back, they now all have functionality that allows you to see where the information has come from, giving you more trust, creating a better perception. This is a system that I can feel confident in. So, what can you do? How can you bring these learnings into your business? No matter where you are on your journey, you can, if you're building your own model, if you're building your own program, you can look at designing these tweaks. You can look at programming in prompts that are relevant to your business, the context, the audience, the goal, the task. Do you want to grow your followers on LinkedIn? Do you want to focus on reach? That's all within your control. You can build that yourself. If you are using a standard pay-as-you-go model, say you're using ChatGPT, you can build internal workflows. You can build documentation that helps your team align and create better marketing content, for example. Visibility is really, really important. So Perplexity is a fantastic AI system, particularly for research. It is incredible. It allows you to, it's very, very sorry now, start again. Perplexity allows you to search any kind of database that you want. So it can pull from Claude, from Gemini, from GPT. It's allowing you to tell the system what model you would like it to pull from. So here, if we say, help me develop a blog post on the fear of AI taking jobs, it's showing you these are the sources that I'm pulling from, and it's giving you the autonomy to tweak that answer, to refine it, to tune it. So there it's hitting your prompts, your tuners, and your trust mechanism. So, sorry now, we'll just have a wee glass of water. I'm talking for too long. A massive design flaw for me in the current user interfaces is that prompts like these, which would help your team to develop very, very effective content, that's hidden. That is not available on the interface itself. Here you can sort of state who is speaking, what is your context, and give the AI a task. Here you can say you're 3 experts working together. You're a neuroscientist who understands attention, a viral content creator with 10 million followers, a conversion optimizer for a Fortune 500 company. You can pull all of that information together to create your marketing content. You want to give it context, create a LinkedIn post for AI consultants. Who's your audience? Your audience is CEOs who are scared of being left behind by AI, and you can give it a metric. You can give it a solid metric. I want a 2% engagement. My previous posts have had a 2% engagement post. I want 10%. That sort of prompt is not available on the interface. I had to source that from Reddit. But you see, if you were able to bake that into your interface and set your team up for success, they would be able to access that, optimize their content, okay? Emily Campbell's work is just the beginning. She is offering a framework, she's offering benchmarks, she's offering UX best practices for anyone who is building their own program. But for yourselves, go in there and check it out. These are all mechanisms that would allow you to enhance your team's AI literacy, essentially. Something really, really important is being able to filter the inputs and the outputs. So in that sense, you can sort of preset your audience. Who am I talking to? You can preset your content type. Is it a marketing post? Is it a newsletter? You can preset that within the system. Jasper AI is a really, really good example of that. They allow you to sort of say, who are you writing for? What's this going to be about? And offer them constraints. So ultimately, what does this mean for your business? What can AI help you with? The main thing is to think about things that your team struggle with, things that you struggle with. AI is great at the repetitive, mundane tasks. It's great at data. It's an analytical. All of these things that are pain points within your team. Take some time to think about them. Take some time to really parse it out with your colleagues. They use the people, use them, use their experience. There will be, again, huge dips in levels of AI literacy across the company. Ask people, what are the tools that they're currently using? Ask people, what do they use it for? What are they using AI for? What are the bottlenecks? What are the repetitive, annoying, finicky tasks that AI might be able to take away that will free your team up for success, that would allow them to focus on creative pursuits? This is really, really important. Use the resources that you have. Use the humans at your disposal who know your systems, who know your organization, and who will be able to help you to find these gaps. So again, from the McKinsey report, just some examples of vertical use cases. There are many. Brainstorming, huge one. I myself use Perplexity AI to be able to kind of gather. I want to pull from the Journal of Human-Computer Interaction. I want to brainstorm some ideas for gaps in the literature, this kind of thing, where you're gearing it specifically to a use case. It can be extremely, extremely impactful. And again, these can be triggered by a prompt. You don't need to be building your own model to do this. You just need the right prompt. So, what is the best way of getting this message across? As per the EU AI Act, if you're using AI in your business, you need to provide AI literacy training for your team, for your organization. That's a requirement. There is a fantastic resource called artificialintelligenceact.eu that has pre-made, basically ready-to-go trainings that you could offer your team. But there's absolutely nothing stopping you from developing your own best practices, your own prompts, your own internal workflows, and your own use cases. And remember, this can change all of the time. This can adapt and grow and change. I used to work for a company called Wobot Health that was an AI-powered chatbot, but it worked on NLP, natural language processing, instead of generative AI. Generative AI came along, and unfortunately, that chatbot was dead in the water. Things change all of the time. Use your team, brainstorm, make this an adaptive, iterative process, and you will be astounded at what you can achieve. And measure success. Try and have your success metrics. What tasks are you hoping to tackle, and how can you measure them? The Air Vivo report stated that 55% of their respondents said that they could save up to 6 hours a week on administrative tasks if AI was implemented properly. Imagine what your team could do with that time back. So, main takeaway, my visual is not working, but that your murmuration, this complex system, if you're willing to adapt and grow, speak with your team, learn from them, identify the right problems, and ultimately make good design choices, AI can help your business to soar. Okay, thank you. If anyone has any questions, feel free to email me. I'd love to hear from you.